Hi, I'm Beth Griffin. We have been secular homeschoolers since 2017, and today we're going to talk about secular versus non secular homeschool resources and how you can tell. First, a quick recap. Secular means not having any spiritual or religious basis, and non secular means the opposite of that. I'm going to share some ways that you can look into whether or not the curriculum or resource that you are investigating is secular or not. And this might sound really easy and straightforward, but I can tell you from some firsthand experience when we first started homeschooling after deciding that secular homeschool was really important to us and using all non-religious based curriculum was a top priority. I still managed to use not one but two curriculums that turned out to be non-secular. And what I mean when I say secular is it also, the curriculum or the resource also doesn't fund any type of religious agenda. For example, one of the curriculums that we used before I knew better was ABC Mouse. And ABC Mouse, if you did not know, also Adventure Academy, and I think there's one other thing under that umbrella. The CEO, who is no longer living at this point, but it is a family owned business. And at the time when we ended up using it, he was definitely still alive. They are He and his wife are two of the top funders of Scientology, and I was like, that to me, that is not secular. Funding something like that is not a secular curriculum or resource and not something that I want to use. So here are three easy ways you can find out if a resource is truly secular or not. First and foremost, a basic web search. And I know this might sound really obvious, but do keep in mind this is not a standalone way to deduce if something is secular or not. And a basic web search can absolutely do you dirty if you are trying to find a strictly or truly secular curriculum, meaning that by purchasing it, you're not funding someone's ministry or religious agenda. When conducting that basic web search, when you're first investigating a resource or a curriculum, my suggestion is to take it a step further and also search for who is the CEO or founder. Um, Check out the members of the board. And then a little tip that I learned a while back that has been incredibly helpful and enlightening for me is when you find the CEO or founder of that company, search their name and the word problematic, and you'll find out all kinds of interesting things. Number two, use online secular homeschool communities as a resource. I know right now we all have a lot of, listen, I know for quite some time, we all have a lot of big feelings about Meta and Metadaddy and all of that. But I can tell you for right now, I am absolutely staying on Meta platforms. And one of the top reasons is for these secular homeschool communities that are an absolutely priceless resource. One of my top recommendations is the SEA, Secular Eclectic Academic Homeschoolers Group. This is an amazing group. They have really good standards for what qualifies as a truly secular curriculum. So you can go into that group on Meta and search whatever the resource or curriculum that you're looking for inside of the group. And that's a really good way to kind of separate, to sort if that curriculum is truly secular or not. I will put a little asterisk or a caveat there that as far as truly like progressive and or inclusive curriculum, it's not going to weed out and filter out those resources. Like, for instance, Build Your Library is something that is a truly secular resource. It does include a section where they use Harry Potter books. So for me, that would be not considered an inclusive curriculum. And that would be something that we wouldn't use for that reason. But that's something that you would not find filtered out. Last but not least, a great way to find and filter, sift, and sort secular curriculum and resources is secular homeschool content creators. There are a bunch of us out here in the world on every platform you can possibly imagine. Probably on more platforms now than ever before. And there are more secular homeschoolers and more secular homeschool content creators now than ever before because secular homeschool is more abundant, I believe, than it ever has been before. For example, I have a giant list on my blog. You can find that here. It is constantly being added to, edited, and updated. So that is a huge, huge list of secular curriculum. And I will also work on creating either in a long form video like this or in the shorts section of this channel. I'll work on creating some resources so that you can find other secular, inclusive, progressive homeschool content creators that will share with you a world of amazing resources, free resources, low cost resources, all kinds of great stuff.